It takes a fully functional, independent I to be a member of a fully functional, interdependent we. Teams often have to deal with things like egos, and not just focusing on self, but focusing on the entire group. Hi, I'm Darryl Doane, and together with my partner Rose Sloat, we are the publishers of Life's Journey Professional and Personal Wholeness Magazine, and we welcome you to Life's Journey Learning Insights. Our featured guide for the May 2015 issue is Patrick Lencioni, the author of the best-selling book, The Five Dysfunctions of a Team. Now, we believe that this is such an incredibly important and significant topic that we became authorized partners through Wiley of the program based on this phenomenal book. The program is called The Five Behaviors of a Cohesive Team. We have been award-winning partners with Wiley for 18 years now, and we feel that this is one of the most powerful programs and learning experiences to ever be offered. Here's a quick overview. We look at these five behaviors as a pyramid, as you see here. At the very top, you have results, which is what you get to last. What we're talking about here when we say results is performance. Performance. The success of your team depends on the performance of your people, or what they need to produce in order to succeed. The concepts of the five behaviors are easy to grasp, but can be difficult to implement. If you try to drive to the top of that pyramid, you most often won't get there. In other words, you can't cut corners. So many organizations and companies today are looking to cut corners in areas such as time, money, and effort. It just can't be done. You need to do things right, and that effort and money and time have to be there. You have to start down here at the bottom of the pyramid where it says a cohesive team needs to have trust. Now, we're not talking about predictive trust, where, oh, I've known this person for a while, and based on that, I can pretty much predict their behavior. No, that's not the kind of trust we're talking about. We're talking about vulnerability-based trust. Only when you have vulnerability-based trust can you have a meaningful conversation with team members. It's so important. Being willing to open up, to get out of your comfort zone, which is difficult to do, to share weaknesses, fears, mistakes, and to talk about them with some degree of comfort. Saying things like, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, I was wrong, could you go over that again? The level of trust that exists can make it easier or more difficult to go to the next level. The reason we need to trust is not to be intimate, but to engage in conflict, which happens to be the very next level in the pyramid. We're not talking about knockdown, drag out, hit 'em where it hurts conflict, but productive conflict. When you can take all the different positions on an issue and challenge it, test it, stand up for your point of view, and eventually, having heard all sides and digested that, and this is critical, the leader knows where to step in and say, here's what we're actually going to do. Here's a decision has to be made. You're now able to move forward without any question, without any residue. There's nothing left over. There's no discussions away from the team in private, like in the bathroom or out in the parking lot. Some say that this is so important because you have been heard. You have been able to stand before the crowd and speak your mind. Doesn't it sound powerful? The more trust that exists, the more you can engage in productive conflict, efficiently and effectively. They build upon each other. Many teams use unproductive conflict, and it goes nowhere. There are too many things left unsaid. Once you get to that point where you can really wrestle with the issues and you can achieve commitment, which happens to be the next level, you're on your way. The way that commitment happens is feeling ownership. This is my decision, my solution. I have been heard at this point in time. I've been able to speak my piece. One of the greatest truths of leadership that Patrick Lencioni reveals in his book is you do not have to have 100% consensus in order to have 100% commitment. You feel that you have been heard and that you have been listened to, and as a result, you can go with it. You can commit. People tend to support those things which they themselves create. When you go through this process, you feel like you've been involved and you've created that. And it's not just lip service. This is real commitment that each individual will be accountable for. And accountability happens to be the next step in the pyramid. Not just to the leader, but even more important than that, to your peers. And even more so, to yourself. The highest form of accountability is personal accountability. Living up to your own expectations. Isn't that incredibly important? Isn't that powerful? When you achieve these items, you can produce meaningful results at the very highest level. And that's a brief overview of the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team. I'm Darryl Doane, and you have been watching and listening to Life's Journey Insights.